The Space Princess is the most mysterious character in Bee and Puppycat, so today I want to talk about her past, what happened to her, and how she possibly ended up becoming Cardamon's dog, Sticky. Please hit that subscribe button for more Puppycat theories and lore. We need more Puppycat fans in our subscriber algorithm because I've got videos planned about the timeline of the show, theories about Bee's dad, and so much more. The story, as Puppycat tells it, is that he was once a space outlaw who fell in love with a space princess. The two agreed they should run away together and arranged to meet in their favorite meadow to elope. When the space outlaw arrived, he instead met the king's warlocks, who used their magic to try and capture Puppycat. For some reason, the spell instead turned him into a monster, as Puppycat puts it, turning him into the little Puppycat we know in the show. Following this, Puppycat would run across space, taking whatever temp work he could get to make money and keep on traveling. Everywhere he'd go, he was pursued by the Dark Hands, however, even at his temp jobs. According to Puppycat, the princess betrayed him and purposely set him up to be captured by the warlocks. He thus believes that these hands chasing him are the hands of those warlocks, being sent by the princess who still wishes to imprison him for whatever reason. It is clear, however, that Puppycat is an unreliable narrator, and most of his story is just him reconstructing visions from dreams. What little we learned was largely out of order and showed Puppycat influencing past memories with what he learned from more recent memories. It is clear to most fans that Puppycat has misunderstood what happened the day he was supposed to meet the Space Princess. In fact, it seems that the Space Princess may have first loved Puppycat and used some sort of love-themed gun on him to make him feel the same way about her. The princess, I imagine, truly loved Puppycat and wanted to run off with him, but her father likely discovered her plan and sent his warlocks instead to capture the space outlaw. In my previous video, which you can watch by clicking in the right-hand corner of the screen, I discussed how the space outlaw may have been a robot filled with puppycats. It's a wacky theory and you should watch the full video to understand it, but the short version is essentially this. The space outlaw shows signs of being a robot, such as his eyes glitching out. Additionally, Violet, his lifelong friend, appears to be a robot as well, as we see when Cardamon feeds her the wish donut. Bee herself is a robot with sentient smaller parts inside of her, some of her pieces even looking like little puppycat heads. Another little robot piece with a face that was found next to a little puppycat face was easily turned into its own little sentient robot. In Bee's dreams, we see other puppycats that could have helped pilot the space outlaw as well, who in her dream act out a role similar to her inside robotics when she breaks open. All of this to say, it's very possible that the space outlaw was a robot like Bee, and Puppycat was just one of the many tiny pieces that made him. When the warlocks did a spell to capture Puppycat, he would glitch out, possibly break open, and one of the puppycats would manage to escape, containing only a portion of the memories of the space outlaw as a whole. So what then happened to the space princess? I imagine she did her best to reconstruct the space outlaw, but he just wasn't complete without Puppycat. Despite the king trying to stop their love, she would continue to try and find Puppycat then. Just as only one part of Bee had feelings for Caspian, I think that only one part of the space outlaw may have feelings for the space princess, specifically our Puppycat. Because of that, even if the space outlaw was mostly functional without its one missing Puppycat, it would no longer be the man that loved the space princess, and perhaps not the man that the space princess herself loved. If the space outlaw does love the space princess because of a heart-shaped gun that made him fall in love with her, the bullet may have specifically hit the part of the space outlaw that was our Puppycat. The space princess may be able to tell which Puppycat is the one she fell in love with just by looking at him, the same way Caspian was able to with Bee's colorful clones. Because of this, Puppycat may be right in that the Dark Hands after him come from the space princess. They themselves may not know what the princess's plans really are, and just know that their job is to capture Puppycat. The space princess could have ordered this in order to get Puppycat back and make the space outlaw whole. The hands come from characters I call the space warlock children. In the episode Why Don't You Help Me, they explain that they only got this job because of their dads, indicating that they are probably the children of the space warlocks who first tried to capture Puppycat. Working through their dads, the space princess may have hired them as part of a public charade to imprison Puppycat, but secretly wishing to unite them with the space outlaw so they can run off together. This would mean that Puppycat has been running away for who knows how long, thinking he was in danger when in reality the princess just wants to fix him and continue their relationship. That being said, it's also possible they were sent out by the king entirely and the space princess had no say in it. Regardless of who is sending the hands, Puppycat has managed to escape them for quite a while, but with him making Earth his new home, it was only a matter of time before they closed in. What then happened to the space princess? Whether she first sent the hands after Puppycat or the king did, she would eventually realize that he is somewhere on Earth, likely following a signal from his ship or something to that effect. She would come to Earth to be with Puppycat, but somehow end up taking the form of a dog and seemingly adopt its intelligence as well. I had already seen theories that Cardamon's dog, Sticky, was the space princess back before Lazy in Space, but in the rebooted 3 episodes, they seem to make it extremely clear. Sticky is now introduced not as Cardamon's pet, but as a dog he finds in the woods, with 2 smaller puppies leading her in like royalty. The forced marriage between her and Puppycat now becomes a really brilliant joke, and Puppycat's cruelty to her hurts extra hard, such as when he eats all of her food in the episode Why Don't You Help Me? For those who doubt that the princess somehow took the form of Sticky before making it to the island, episode 2 really foreshadows this reveal in its subplot about Bee and Puppycat having to fix a music box. The music box has character pieces that need to be properly arranged, and the normal orders don't work. Instead, the order that works involves the characters in unfortunate and sad places, making Bee beg the question, who would want this? I personally believe the music box job to be one created by Bee's father to give them hints about what's going on, helping them solve the puzzle of the island by solving the puzzle of the music box. He made himself the king in heaven, implying he is dead, though we see he does seem to be alive in some weird, timeless place. Then there is the witch in slumber, which is Cardamon's mother, an interesting note that she is a witch. Then there is the prince left alone, a clear reference to Cardamon with his mother in slumber. Then finally we have the princess lost in the woods. While she takes a human form in the lullaby box, it really cemented the theory that the space princess became Sticky and got lost in the woods on the island. So how and why did this happen? I mentioned before it was possible that the space princess is trying to restore Puppycat whole, but I think it's also possible that she doesn't care for the space outlaw as a whole, and now is only after Puppycat, the part that loves her. When the space outlaw busted open and Puppycat escaped, the other Puppycats were likely embarrassed, and the space princess might think that Puppycat is running not just out of fear of persecution, but thinking that the space princess could not love him in this form, as he was just several Puppycats in a trench coat pretending to be a big handsome outlaw. To prove that she does love this part of the space outlaw, she could choose to use magic to change her form and go be with Puppycat. Like him, she would take on a dog-like form so they could be together as animals. This could be done with general magic from the space warlocks, their children, or even through a wish crystal. If she didn't eat enough of the wish crystal to start, it would explain why she ended up as just a dog with seemingly lower intelligence than Puppycat, who is a lot closer to a human in intelligence and mannerism, even if still an animal. In this form, she'd be unable to communicate who she was, only carrying her natural royal flair with her as a dog. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, or come talk to other Puppycat fans in our Cartoon Universe Discord server. Links as always are in the pinned comment down below. Just make sure you ask for the Netflix role when you join to get access to the Bee and Puppycat channel. See you guys there.